the Timberwolves win it by 2 over the Clippers, 108-106 in our Menards game summary. The numbers are pretty even. Look at paint points and bench points, identical for the Wolves and Clippers. Anthony Edwards led the way with 37 points. Naz Reid had 18 plus 7 boards. And Donte DiVincenzo had 15 as a starter tonight. Here's Donte from the Wolves locker room.
Getting the start tonight, just how did you kind of find out about it, and what was your reaction when you found out that you're
just trying to shuffle things up, see different lineups that we like, and just trying to push the pace a little bit in that first unit. Came out not as good as I would have liked and we would have liked, but I think we got it together in that second quarter. And to start the second half is kind of how we wanted to kind of play. So, just building off of a win is a good thing.
When you're in that role, does it change your approach at all, or do you keep doing it?
That was kind of the conversation. That was kind of the mindset. You don't have necessarily the traditional point guard bringing it up and getting the sets, but for me, push the pace, play fast, getting the early actions, and then you have two guys, Julius and Ant, that can make plays, and then essentially it's just quick reads and making plays and trying to get downhill and just playing basketball.
How did you find out? Pardon? Sure.
Is there any different feeling for you just knowing that you're starting versus coming off the bench and just
I'm used to it. I've done it on every team that I've played on. So, whatever it is, it's just a different, I guess, preparation for the game. Change your routine a little bit, but nothing mindset-wise changes. You're just trying to go in there and, like I said, my job is try to pick up speed a little bit in that first unit and push the pace and get these guys open, quick, early, or open looks.
Yeah, it seems like he's really starting to play with force again. What does that open up for you guys when he plays like that?
It opens up space for everybody else, but it also, when everybody else is being aggressive, it opens up space for him. I think when we're making quick decisions, now the defense has to guard us a little bit differently. So now it opens up the floor for him. And we want him to be, he talked to you guys. He told you, we want him to be that. We want him to be a scorer. We want him to have fun. We want him to bring joy to the game. And everybody else around him will figure it out.
That five-man group hadn't played a ton of possessions this season. Is it a process, and did we see that almost tonight in terms of third quarter, that shift was much better than the first, and just settling in, I guess, together?
One, it's going to take time, but two, we've had different, that particular full five-man lineup, like you said, hasn't played that much, but a lot of those four-man lineups have. So it's just figuring out that one person. It's going to take a little time, but like you said, second half, I think everything, you take out the second guessing, you take out all the, slow decisions, and you just play faster and that start the game, start the second half, and that's what kind of opened up things for us in the third quarter. I think the bench was great. I think Mike came in, and Mike was Mike, and that's exactly what we need. And he's going to continue to do that, whatever the situation is. I think collectively we understand where we want to be, and how to get there is you never know what the lineup's going to be. This isn't. You have to ask Vinci. This isn't like a permanent thing, or I don't know if it's a one-game thing, but I think collectively we are fluid with what coach decides, and everybody's understanding that we want to win games.
The biggest change, you would say, of just kind of the overall thing is just quicker decision making. And it's just kind of an instigator for that.
Yeah, you look at that the bench, the first whatever games. I think we just pushed the pace. I think that's kind of what we were trying to do. Me, Nikhil, and Nas, and just doing that in the first unit, eliminating all the X and O's and trying to overthink things and where does Ant want it, just eliminate that. Once we get to the second, third action, now you have the ball in Julius's hands, Ant's hands, and just pushing the pace allows for more spacing on the floor.
It seemed like everybody was just more engaged too at that point.
Donte DiVincenzo and the Timberwolves will head on the flight tonight. They've got a game tomorrow in New Orleans. We'll preview the Pels next. Tonight was the front end of a back-to-back, and it'll be a much more enjoyable flight to New Orleans as Wolves and the Pelicans play on the road tomorrow night. Then Thursday, that road trip will move to Orlando before coming back home. The Wolves host the Memphis Grizzlies on Saturday. New Orleans is a very interesting team. BB, only 7 wins for this team this season. They haven't had Zion Williamson for almost the entire year. He is now questionable to play after missing most of the season with a hamstring injury.
I mean, that will be the story if Zion could somehow figure out how to get himself together and play. You know, we talked about Kawhi in this game, how many games he's missed since 2020, and Zion has missed more than that. So being able to figure out how to get him healthy will be the story. Obviously, we're talking about a Pelicans team that has not been able to string together many wins at all. They beat Washington twice, and Washington has its own set of problems, right? So it will really be about the Wolves figuring out how to continue to grow and continue out how to compete on both ends of the floor and just build on what they have been able to accomplish today in this win. And then if Zion comes back, then we'll be able to talk about Zion. But they have no Brandon Ingram. They just got Trey Murphy back, and he sprained his ankle in that Washington game. So he may be out. So I don't know what their roster is going to look like. But it's really about the Wolves. Take care of yourself. Go and handle your business and get this win on the road.
C.J. McCollum had 50 points
He
2
did have
games
50.
ago. But he might be the only healthy Pelican rolling right now. The Timberwolves are going to come in with some of this momentum that they built on a comeback win tonight over the Clippers. A 19-point comeback win. It was the largest of the season. The Wolves win it by 2. Tomorrow night, our pregame coverage starts at 6:30. Wolves and Pelicans from New Orleans. We'll see you tomorrow night.